You can only have 3 WrestleMania main events to watch for the rest of your life. Does Hogan Warrior make that list?
Definitely not. No.
5. Top 5.
No.
Even though it's the one that your pressure it got you into wrestling.
Yeah. I remember it so well.
Oh, that's why you don't want to watch it back. I can see it in my head.
It's in here, my dog.
I can see it in my head.
It's in here, my dog. I don't need to go back to that. It's in here, my dog.
What's up, people? We're back today with another top 5 list. They're coming in thick and fast now, and this week we are talking about the top 5 best WrestleMania main events of all time. When we say main event, it's the last match, not none of those main events that were in the middle of the card that should have main evented. The last match on the night. We've got a panel here of guys that know what they're talking about, but right now some of them are even doubting what they've put down. But we're gonna kind of introduce you to these guys. To my left here, you can see we got Cameron, we got Gigi, and we've got Skillet in the building. Guys, how we doing today?
Good, man. Happy to be here.
Very happy to be here. Thank you for having us today, Max. This is going to be an interesting conversation.
Not a problem. How you doing?
Very good to be here. It's going to be a interesting list.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
I'm nervous already. Bro.
I think you guys might have like some similarities. Probably like, you know, there might be 1 or 2 wild cards in each of yours. But obviously it matters about when we're making the final list where each of these rank so that we can come up with our personal top 5. Guys, anything that, you know, you want to kind of mention, any honorable mentions, anything that you think won't be on anyone's list, but we can talk about.
I mean, it probably will be in Cam's or Gigi's list, but my
is that a dig or what?
It depends what
honorable mention for me that's not on my list would be the Shawn John Cena match at WrestleMania 23.
Yeah.
23, okay.
That was a great main event. That's not on my list. It's probably on Cam's. That's why he's laughing.
It was close. It was nearly there.
Another
I prefer their Raw match, to be honest.
Yeah, that was a classic.
Raw match.
That was like an Iron Man match or something. Yeah. Another honorable mention: Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar. Even though that botch at the end kind of, you know, ruined things. The shooting star press that Lesnar tried to execute, but that was a great main event until that point. And obviously I've got a big honorable mention that was on my list, but I took it out and replaced it with another match that's quite similar in terms of booking. The triple threat between Triple H, Shawn, and the late Chris Benoit.
Boy, well, I know some of those matches that Skillet mentioned are actually active right now, so we're gonna see who put them.
Another honourable mention, definitely Boneyard. I don't know if anyone
100%.
Oh, another honourable
I know
mention.
it wasn't great, but
I think the Boneyard match.
No, it's honourable mention.
I think Boneyard match is an honourable mention.
Yeah, I think so.
Another honourable mention, because a lot of people will be mad at me if I didn't mention this. Hogan Warrior. That was you have to understand. As a kid,
honourable.
We need to get into this. So that might be a bit mad because I know that might be on some people's
that's
list.
not on my list.
That's
but
controversial.
I had it on my list and I took it out. But that introduced me to wrestling.
There ain't no honour in leaving Hogan and Warrior out.
That introduced me to wrestling, and that's still a classic match to this day.
For your sake, I hope your list lifts up, you know.
Listen,
Man,
you know who you're talking to? The wrestling connoisseur. You know what I'm saying? Skillet.
That is mad.
You know, I'm Skilly T.
That is mad.
You know what I mean?
We're gonna get into these lists in just a second, guys. Please make sure you're following along in the comments. Put down your WrestleMania main events, your favorites, your top 5, and make sure you hit the subscribe button, notify bell, all of that good stuff, so you get notified every time we drop a new video, a new list, or a break it down. So we're gonna start with Gigi. Gigi, do you want to unveil
I know
this list?
Because you were nervous, bro.
Nah, let's see this list he's put together. So first, Rock versus Austin. That's WrestleMania 17.
Yeah.
Hogan versus Warrior.
6.
HBK versus Bret Hart. Angle Lesnar. And Undertaker versus HBK. That's 26, isn't it?
26.
Cool.
That was the main event.
Yeah.
26.
Yeah, man.
You want to go Skillet first? So you can
let's go with Cams. Let's go with Cams. Skillet's doing a little edit now.
No, because I think I got the year wrong and one of the match. Same match.
All right, so go on, let's go Cam.
This is my list right here.
Go on. So we got Rock Austin 17.
Triple threat.
The triple threat match. So that's Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Chris Benoit. Hogan versus Warrior. John Cena versus HBK, and Brock versus Angle.
You know what? I liked Cam's list.
Skillet, it's time to see yours, bro.
I like Gigi's list too.
Let's see yours.
What they were honorable mentions?
So we've got at 5, HBK versus Brett. At 4, Lesnar versus Reigns. Seth cashing 31. Number 3, Batista versus Orton versus Daniel Bryan. Number 2, Rock versus Austin. And his first is HBK and Undertaker. 2009.
one.
That's the WrestleMania 26. So a lot of similarities. Rock versus Austin is of course on everybody's list. Let's kick this off with Skillet.
All right.
You put Lesnar versus Reigns, the
Seth
one where
cashed
Seth
in.
cashed in.
I mean, that's
Which,
come on.
for me personally,
Come on.
is on my list.
You man are moving mad if you don't have that on your list. I
That
don't
would
think you
definitely
do.
be on my
I don't
list.
think you
No,
both
they
have
don't.
it.
You're the
You
only
both are
person.
moving
So,
mad.
School us about why that's made your
Listen,
list.
let me say something, yeah? See, back then, yeah, I wasn't messing with Reigns, you know. My guy was DB because I've seen DB's growth from Ring of Honor to the main event of WrestleMania eventually. And I still, you know, even though Bryan retired at that time, he retired at that time, didn't he? So it wasn't,
Yeah.
because he had the title the year before. So he got injured. He was injured. He didn't retire yet, he was injured. But I don't know, Reigns still needed some convincing for me, but he showed up in that main event with Lesnar. And Lesnar was incredible. He had a big fight feel. It was, you know, it was a great match regardless of the cash-in. And the cash-in was just the icing of the cake, man. Like, listen, there's a few things that make me pop in wrestling today, you know, like it used to. That was one of them.
It was a big moment.
That was
I pop when I still see that, and I know what's
that's
going to
what
happen.
I'm saying.
It
That
was a big
the
moment.
atmosphere, the buzz, that was an incredible match, and you know, making Seth turn it into a triple threat. The ending was perfect. One of the best WrestleMania pay-per-views in general, and one of the best main events for sure.
Do you know what kind of ruled it out for me is because in my mind it's a triple threat, and then I was thinking about the Bryan triple threat and the Benoit triple threat.
Yeah.
And then I didn't put any triple threats at all.
Okay,
You don't appreciate
You like the one-on-one, innit?
I don't know what happened.
You like that one-on-one thing.
Yeah.
You like that boxing, big fight. That's what you like.
No. But I get the feel good, the moment of that, the end of that Mania.
I kind of expected that particular match to be on your list, Cam.
I throw my hands up. I was a howler. I would easily take out Brock versus Angle for that match.
Yeah.
You forgot about it.
No,
Yeah,
but
I
that's the
forgot.
thing. I would put Daniel Bryan's moment
30.
triple threat, if you will, over that, because that's for the moment. Yeah, Seth Rollins was a big shock, but
But for me, that was a better match.
Yeah.
That was a better moment, I guess.
I
But
don't know, man.
Actually, I don't, you know, listen,
Daniel Bryan was a good
I
match,
put the
man.
Lesnar Reigns Seth Cash-in 4. I put Batista, Orton, Bryan 3. So for me, the triple threat of the Bryan was better for me.
you just said you're a Bryan guy. So,
No, yeah, it's because of that moment, but the match was incredible. The way it was booked was incredible.
I think the whole scenario of him beating Triple H and then getting into that thing
Just
and
having
that
a
was all
run-through
good.
story for the whole event. It's
Yeah. I
great.
think that
I love
was and that does a lot, to be completely fair. But like Skillet was saying, I think Reigns and Brock, especially nowadays and what they've done in later years, they don't get a lot of respect for them two in the ring together. But that match was proper. Gigi, you have put Angle versus Lesnar. I'll talk to Gigi about this because you just said you would take it out.
Yeah, I'll take that for a triple threat. Yeah.
So Angle versus Lesnar, which again is one of my personal favorites. Why has that made your list?
I rewatched it the other day, man, and it's just like 4 like impactful just suplexes, and like it's just high impact the whole
Proper wrestling
match, and it's just brilliant, man. Like you can't dispute Angle versus Lesnar together. And you know, when I was sitting there watching, I was like, it's mad to think how inexperienced they were to get that main event at Mania. I was trying to look through like stats on all the years, like how many people or how long people had been in wrestling until they main evented. And you think about someone like Tyler Black, or, you know, Rollins.
Rollins, yeah.
Like, imagine how long it took for him to get a main event. And
His debut.
you know, Angle versus Lesnar, they were, you know, as soon as they got in
it
the
was
wrestling,
more or less immediate.
Lesnar was like a year. Lesnar was
it was
less
like
than a year.
3 or 4 years.
Lesnar was a few months.
But in the actual
And
game,
Angle was a couple years.
But in the actual game, like the wrestling game, like 3-4 years, like each, if that.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive in itself.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And it's
Yeah, I see what you
like,
mean.
and it's just a crazy match. Like I've seen Lesnar land that shooting star press before. And
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
can
of
do
course.
it.
You can do it. Yeah,
he can do it.
It just-
But
I
when
think
you
Angle's
watch
a
it
bit-
again and you think, bruv, he's so far away.
That's
Don't
what it
do
is.
it.
Angle was too far away. He was too far
He's
away.
so far away, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, you could even see that when you watch it back.
And then for him to still lift Angle up and get him
Give it
in an
F5.
F5
Nearly broke his
after
neck,
he's
man.
dazed and out of it, it's crazy, man.
No, 100%. Big respect to Lesnar in that match. Hogan versus Warrior, Cam. I would have imagined that's a bit before your time.
I can admit it's before my time, but watching it, I can understand it. Like, understand that match feeling. Like, that's like the equivalent to Rock vs. Austin, 17. Like, at that time period, Hogan versus Warrior was just like, I can just imagine how much of that must have felt as a kid. And
That's why I'm quite surprised that it's not made your list at all in an honourable mention. Because
I've seen better since. That's why. So you have to understand that was the first match that introduced me to wrestling. So I know how important that match is. I saw that when it was out, but
I know
now,
but
like I grew up watching wrestling, so you know there's so many more matches better than that.
But are you taking it as a wrestling match when you
So
doing
there's
that judgment, or
so I'm assuming you guys
spectacle?
I feel like you guys are ranking it as a spectacle, aren't you?
yeah, not for a match.
For me, I'm ranking it as a bit of both.
Sometimes you
Some
have
of it's
to.
spectacle and some of it is just a great match.
I think
That's
we
what I'm
have to
doing.
take making this final list. Obviously, everyone's open to different interpretations at this point. But when making this final list, we kind of have to take from both. It's got to be a good wrestling match.
That's what I'm
and
doing.
It's got to be a spectacle worthy of a main event.
That's what I'm doing, my bro.
You're preaching to the choir.
That's what I'm doing, my G.
Cool. One that isn't on your list, Cam, is HBK versus Bret Hart. So, what didn't do this for you? Why not? Does this rank at all for you?
It does not, because it's just too long and boring.
It's very divisive, isn't it?
Like,
Very divisive.
I would rather watch the Survivor Series match.
Was this an Iron Man match?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
For how long?
60 minutes.
60 minutes.
And this was 0-0, innit?
Yeah,
1-4.
It went the whole way.
And then went extra time.
No, but if you watch that match properly, watch that match back, bro.
Yeah, I
That
watched
match,
it
that
once,
match is incredible.
Yeah,
It's
I've seen
like
it.
for what they've done, and it's not boring. Like a lot of people say it's boring. It's really not. It's really not boring. Like watch the match again.
It never would be though.
It's incredible what they do in that ring, and to have that sustain that for an hour with one fall, like one
Yeah,
pinfall. And keep me interested and intrigued. I've watched that match multiple times, my guys. I've seen that match multiple times, like
And
more than 10
Shawn
times.
Michaels won, right?
Yeah.
Shawn
Yeah,
won. Yeah. It's two masters at their craft. Brett, let me say something.
Here we go. Here he is.
The greatest of all time. Bro, Brett is a master in his craft, bro. The way Brett controlled that match was unreal. And Shawn's fantastic. Shawn did his thing. But Brett really made sure Shawn looked like $1 million.
Let me ask you a quick question. Quick. Bret Hart, is he the best wrestler of all time or best sports entertainer?
Oh, he's best wrestler. Like sports entertainer. Like
You know, we
obviously-
need to sit down one day and do a.
We're coming.
Don't get
And
me
a
wrong.
Shawn versus
He's
Brett.
got, he's
We're
got that
getting there,
sports
don't worry.
he's got that sports entertainer in him. Like, you know, he was cutting some good promos in '97. But I will be lying
In
to you. if I
terms of
said-
in-ring ability, he's
in-ring
the
ability,
best.
who's better?
I'm asking. I'm just.
In-ring ability, no one better than
This
Bret Hart,
is
bro.
what we do as hosts.
I know, bro.
We just make
I
sure
know,
I clarify.
I know. I'm just saying. But there's no one better than Bret in the ring. No one.
Cool. That's fine. All right. So back to WrestleMania main events. Let's start building this list. So we got similarities in terms of Rock and Austin, HBK and Bret Hart as well, Angle and Lesnar. Some are on some people's list, some aren't on others. So what's a one given that has to be on this list? I would say Rock versus Austin.
Yes.
100%.
100%.
100%.
What's his position?
1.
I put it as 2, but I'm thinking back now. I probably should have put it as 1.
Has to be number 1.
Yeah, I think Cam's right.
And it's your number one already.
Yeah.
So Rock versus Austin,
That
the
has to be
best
number one.
WrestleMania main event
Of all time.
Can we talk about this though? Because
Go
I
ahead.
rewatched it the other day, yeah, and it's mad when it's such a cloudy moment when Vince comes out. Like, there's not like a surefire moment where it's like, oh my god, this has really happened until the handshake. But when Vince comes out and Steve Austin, why do I call him Steve? Stone Cold comes out, or Stone Cold's like, grab me a chair, and Vince's like, oh okay. And he's like he's got Vince under manners, and it's just all a bit cloudy. Like, what is really
What's
going
going
on
on?
here?
Yeah.
But I don't know if it would have benefited more from a quick, do you know what I mean? This has really just happened kind of moment. But and some of the deadest sharpshooters I've ever seen in my life in that match.
100%.
Oh, The Rock.
Crazy. I don't know if it's because of Stone Cold's knee braces might have made it difficult.
Oh,
but
that's true. That's a
some
good
of them
point.
are a bit rough, man.
See how
the
we spoke
sharpshooters.
about two masters in their field in the Iron Man match? That's two masters in the field of sports entertainers.
Yeah,
man.
100%.
Rock and us,
I'd
no
agree.
one's talking to
Yeah, I
them.
agree with that.
100%.
No one's talking to them, man.
Yeah.
No one.
No, yeah.
Like, and never ever will.
Yeah.
Some of the
No one.
counters and the
Oh man,
it's great.
Look at the atmosphere. That ring, the attendance was mad, bruv. The Houston Dome and
Yeah.
bruv, like that main event that you would pay. You would wish you can have something like that today.
But even as like that whole year, like 2001, that was like the peak. So like even if you wasn't watching wrestling,
Yeah.
you knew about Austin
Yeah,
versus
that's
Rock.
right.
Yeah.
There's
That
people
was like-
watching that.
yeah,
There's people
that was
watching that
mainstream.
probably don't watch wrestling.
That's real crossover
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah, pop culture.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you asked your auntie tomorrow about wrestling, she go, "Oh, Stone Cold, The
Yeah.
Rock."
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
like 3-4 names that mentioned.
Stone
and-
Cold, Rock Hogan. Isn't
Yeah,
it? That's
yeah.
what they will say.
Yeah, maybe Undertaker as well.
Do you think that moment
You don't
killed?
think so?
I'm joking. a little bit. A little bit.
Do you think that moment killed the Attitude Era? A lot of people say that was the
That
moment.
was the end of it.
Yeah.
I won't say killed it, but definitely
It was the
it was
end.
definitely the decline of it.
It was, yeah, winding
They couldn't.
down.
It's like you couldn't get more higher than a mountaintop than there.
Yeah, that was the peak of.
That's the
peaks.
pinnacle, innit? That was
Yeah.
the pinnacle moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
for real.
even like the video package building up to that main event,
Yeah.
like
And also, I'll tell you what could have
My way, yes.
the lack of competition probably killed it. 'Cause
Yeah.
The competition at the top level, you mean?
They bought the rivals
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
competition as in the industry?
in the industry. They bought WCW.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole.
Yeah.
That killed WWE for a bit.
Yeah, it did.
But
True.
It did.
I think what also killed it as well. Like after that, it's like The Rock leaving for Hollywood because
yeah, man.
he was at the Raw the next day, and that was it for like until
Till
SummerSlam?
SummerSlam next the year.
that's a few months.
No, he came back 2001 for SummerSlam. Yeah, for the invasion,
that's a
for the
good
invasion
few months.
angle. Yeah, for the invasion storyline, he came.
Like
back.
no, there was no one like to follow up after The Rock. Like you had like Taker.
Yeah,
was
and like
pretty
that's what I'm
much
saying.
it.
Not like
That was
real
it.
big stars. You know what I mean?
I don't think you've still not had anyone to replace The Rock. Like he's,
Nah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. When people compare Cena to The Rock,
No.
I feel like
It's
people
different.
is moving mad, bro.
Yeah, it's different.
That
He may
comparison's
be
mad to me.
the closest. He may be in terms of if
Yeah,
you're talking
yeah.
Austin Rock and then Cena, but
Of the
it's,
modern
it's
era,
the
yeah.
gulf. The
Yeah.
gulf between
yeah.
them
Yeah,
is
it's
a
massive.
massive
Yeah. So yeah, cool. So we've got number one out of the way. Let's talk Hogan and Warrior. Does that appear on this final list?
I think so for the
I think
spectacle
so.
of it. Like again, that's before my time, but I'm very aware. I've got older brother, and I'm very aware of the impact that match had. And it was the first time two baby faces really, two hot baby faces were going at it. Pause. And the crowd are just torn, and it's just, are you Team Hogan? Are you Team Warrior? And it was just unprecedented, like in those times, and it was massive, and it was just encapsulates a time in wrestling where it was the bright cartoon characters, and
Yeah.
I think it'd be a shame not to have Hogan somewhere on this list. I know he's not the best guy.
No,
but
that's
I
a
think
fair point.
He's,
Yeah, yeah.
he's
I
he
think-
is WrestleMania. Do you know what I mean? If you look back at WrestleMania main events from what was it like for the first
First to
Eight,
like
nine,
till nine,
nine,
like
first
nine,
nine,
Yeah,
yeah,
hella,
it's
hella
all
main
him.
events.
Yeah.
It's all him.
Well, people will probably be screaming at when people are watching this back or listening to it on the podcast. They're probably screaming at us saying, "How are you not going to put Hogan Andre on there?"
Yeah, see, that's what
That's
I
the
was.
thing.
I was a bit.
So I
torn
would
on
say if
that,
we're gonna
man.
like Hogan Andre is probably the bigger spectacle.
Yeah, that's what I was
Then-
torn on.
then Hogan
But it's
Warrior.
a worse match though.
Well, actually, it was booked quite well.
Match wise,
Andre
booked-
was,
it was booked
Andre
quite
was so
well.
limited, man.
Yeah.
And but when you watch Hogan Warrior, it's rest holds. The amount of time they're in that bear hug, it feels like it's going on for like half an hour.
I know.
But the crowd are still
that's
eating it up.
in
that's
it,
it.
they're in
The
it.
crowd is
And-
still into it.
And I think that I would personally say that's a better match over Andre Hogan.
No, I do too. I think so too. But I wouldn't say Andre Hogan was a bad match. It was booked quite well actually. They did it, the way they booked it was really
I
clever.
think I see that Dave Meltzer hasn't even rated that match or something. or the
Meltzer
ratings
moves a
mad.
bit mad sometimes.
Yeah, don't worry
I
about it.
like Meltzer. He moves a bit mad though. I don't know.
Skillet, maybe you're the one that's going to take convincing here, as both of these guys had it on their list. Gigi had it in 2, Cam had it in 3. Does this make the final list at all? Obviously, that would mean you largely sacrificing one of your
Listen,
picks.
we're putting respect on the Warriors' name today.
I mean, it's 2-1, so just saying.
You did obviously pay respects to this match as the one that kind of got you into wrestling.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Where do you guys think
5.
it should?
5.
We can put it in 5 for now, and then obviously when the other ones come in, if it warrants moving around, it can move.
It better stay at 5.
But look, just look
better
at the top
stay at
2,
5,
if you have
dog.
that as the top 2. That's wrestling. That's your 4 biggest.
But are you
Or-
what? Remove.
Or-
What about Hogan Savage?
Four
You didn't
of
have
the
that in
biggest.
there. Hogan Savage was incredible.
I was
But let's put we'll put Hogan Warrior 5 for now, and we'll see what happens.
Just to make him happy, put it at 5 for now.
Thank you, Cam.
We got this. We got this.
These guys got some work to do.
We got this. We got this.
Cool. All right. Let's talk about WrestleMania 30. So Daniel Bryan, Batista, Randy Orton. I know he's on your list, Skillet. Did anyone else have that?
Nope, it was just me.
That's mad.
I know.
That's
See,
mental.
for me though, like
Mad, isn't it?
That's
when
mental.
when I think about manias, yeah, I'm just so like nostalgic with it that I go to the older days and they're like more for the feel of it, innit? I get it, and I would be happy if you wanted to put Bryan on this list, but for me personally, it's a great story, like it, the way it weaves through the whole event, and it's, it is a good match, and the crowd are going mad even when like it's not even Daniel Bryan kicking out because they know Daniel Bryan's still got a chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know where I'd put it in terms of greatest Mania match, but I'm happy for it to go in there. But personally, it's not.
I wish I was involved.
Doesn't
in
give
this,
me
because
the
I'd have to
feels
fight
that much. It don't give me the
that match to reach this list. But we'll come back to it maybe. HBK and Bret Hart. That seems like it's 2 out of 3 lists as well. Didn't make.
That's
Cam's
getting in
list.
for me, man. I'm sorry. It's getting in for
Yeah,
me.
for me, it's Scotty, man.
Bret Shawn Iron Man match was
What we saying,
incredible.
Cam?
Mr. WrestleMania.
It's just not for me. Like I wouldn't go out my way to watch that match again. Personally, it's just not the match that I would watch. But if you want to put in the list, then fine. But I can't argue that.
That's a fair point. That's up to it's his opinion, isn't it? You know what I mean,
Where on the list does it go?
5.
I'll say 4.
I would still put Hogan Warrior above HBK Bret, just because of
Because you're thinking of the moment. You think of
the
spectacle.
moment.
Yeah.
And I just think it outweighs it slightly. I think
HBK Bret is one of the best matches I've ever seen in my life.
This
bro.
was WrestleMania 14, right?
No,
12.
12, yeah.
What was 14's Austin.
Yeah.
Cool.
Have
Okay.
you got Angle versus Lesnar on your list? No, you haven't. He was on honorable mention. Isn't
Yeah. I would mention it, yeah. Because of the shooting star press.
as in it made your honorable mentions because of the effort.
Oh, not even it, disregarded it. That's why.
Because he tried.
Because he tried. You get mentioned, but
No, it was a good match. It was a
Good
very good
effort,
match. It was a
bro.
very good match.
Yeah,
Nice
literally.
try.
But they've had better matches. You
Yeah.
said that you gave
Yeah,
that
the Iron
example.
Man,
You get that,
SmackDown.
you get that example with the Cena Shawn.
I agreed.
Same thing with the Angle Kurt, the Iron Man match and SmackDown. was much
That's
better.
third on my list between
Yeah.
them 3.
Yeah.
So this particular match we're talking about has made 2 out of 3 lists. It's made Cam's list, it's made Gigi's list, Brock versus, and got WrestleMania 19. Is there a place for it? I mean, second and third is
in my heart.
Hold on, how are you not putting Brian? Or I'm sorry, it's actually just dawned on me that you're not putting Brian. You guys seen this? You saw this?
Look, I get it.
You
bro.
were there
I'm
for
not-
this, both of you.
Yeah, but I'm not that precious over Daniel Bryan. I resent it because you took too long, man. You should. The only reason that happened was because the fans wanted it to happen. They finally went, oh.
But who
maybe we
you
should
resenting? Brian or WWE?
WWE for
Yeah.
just
the way it happened was
yeah,
awesome.
man. And I just think
You can't
No,
do-
that payoff was incredible. That was a
was.
5-year payoff
yeah, but only
of storyline. That was
But he should
amazing.
have won that Rumble that year
Yeah, but he still got to win the Mania. It doesn't matter, bro.
Of the fans.
because they were
Yeah,
clamoring
and that's
together
why it's
trying to
history in
find
the
a way to
making.
slot it
That was
in.
the first time in history you saw the fans actually be like, no, we want this guy to be our champion.
And I guess that is a
bruv.
victory, but I
that's
resent it
that's
at the
more
same
than a victory,
time.
bro. That's more than a victory.
Shouldn't take that
That's the
though,
true people's
But,
champion.
hold on, are
We
you
overthrew the
are you
booking.
blaming Daniel Bryan for something?
I'm not blaming Daniel Bryan, but it just winds me up.
But you talk about
they
historic
didn't pull the
moments.
trigger,
That's a
man.
historic moment.
Yeah,
The
no,
fans
I know, I get
told
it.
WWE,
Yeah.
this is our guy.
Yeah.
And they had no choice.
I said I'm happy to put it on the list, but I wouldn't put it.
History.
I would possibly put it 4. I'd be generous putting it 3. Where did you put it on yours?
Free.
You haven't got it. Where would you?
It's not.
Is this the one you said?
Cam,
that you
can you
should
give
have?
me your list again, please?
Cam's list: Rock vs Austin.
I do like the WrestleMania 20 choice. I do love
Hogan
that.
Warrior, John Cena, HBK,
Cena, HBK
and
gotta get
Lesnar
out.
Angle.
I did say that I would change number 5 for
Four
the
and five gotta get out of
threat at Brock versus Roman.
Okay.
Seth cash in.
Okay.
I would put that in there.
4 or 5 could get out of there. Sorry.
All right, so Lesnar and Angle's on the ropes right now. If we talk about Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar with Seth Rollins' cash in, does that make the list?
I think so.
I would put Daniel Bryan
100%.
You would put Daniel Bryan over that?
Yeah.
And you've already got Daniel Bryan in your list. Would you put Daniel Bryan?
I'm willing to sacrifice, even though I do think Lesnar and Reigns is one of the best WrestleMania matches I've ever seen. I'm willing to sacrifice that for Batista or but Lesnar Reigns should be in this list. I'm sorry, guys.
Because of the matches that they had, because of the matches they had that weren't so great, and because of the whole, like, was it the Mania the next year that Roman got booed when he won?
Yeah, but against Triple H.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, it just kind of has a bit of a dark cloud above it. But
What's that? Why? Why is
just because of like them just pushing Roman to the point where like it was like
Forcing that.
here, watch this geezer, cheer for this geezer now, and it's like
that's why that's why it was even better when Seth cashed in.
Yeah,
That's why it was even better because it didn't even work.
But for me, I would put Daniel Bryan triple threat above that.
Okay,
100%.
I'm willing to sacrifice that for that match
And you're willing to sacrifice Lesnar Angle
for Reigns and
Daniel Bryan's moment.
No, for Daniel Bryan's moment.
Yeah.
For Daniel Bryan's moment, triple threat.
So I guess we got Daniel Bryan moment.
So Lesnar Angle, are you
Oh,
are you
what,
going to fight
sacrifice
that? Are you fighting that at all to keep that? Because right now that looks like it's on the ropes.
I think it was a strong match, man. I don't think the botch takes away from it completely. And obviously it's a bit scary what happened and, you know, safety first and this, that. But I think it was a great match. Yeah, they have had better. But I don't know. For me, it was just I can't think of another high impact wrestling match like that. Do you know what I mean? Anywhere else?
It could be argued, is that what a WrestleMania main event should be?
No, no, because it wasn't perfect. Sorry, I'm gonna be real, guys. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't.
I want you to interview Lesnar one day and tell him.
Listen, I'm never interviewing that guy, brother. I was at SummerSlam press one time in Brooklyn, and there was a line of media people interviewing. Like, had to line up to interview Lesnar, and Lesnar, he was not on it. And people is literally asking one question, and Lesnar would tell Paul either that's a good question or get this guy out of here.
I've seen some people
and Xavier Woods interviewed him, and Lesnar actually likes Xavier Woods. He actually likes him, so he gave him time, and him said, "That's a good question, Xavier." And they answered Xavier Woods respectfully, and then someone else come after him, and Lesnar, "No, that's a terrible question. Get him out of here." Like Lesnar, "Nah, I'm never gonna interview him. I'm all right, so I can say what I want." Listen, good match, very good match. I gave it an honorable mention. I just don't think it's top 5. I just don't. I honestly don't. I don't know how you could put that top 5 over them other matches that you've all seen. This is mad. This is madness.
He's already discarded.
Yeah, because that was just off the top of my head. Like I couldn't think of like number 5 to put number 5. I was struggling, but yeah, that can go.
Where's HBK Brett for you?
That was 5.
We're gonna get to HBK and Undertaker in a second.
Yeah.
As for this Bryan match, does this make the list? We could just put it in provisionally before we move it around, but
yeah, I think it's got.
I think it does too.
Yeah.
It's a great main event.
So that's
fantastic main event.
Batista,
30 years. I mean, WrestleMania 30.
Batista versus or
man holding 2 belts with the fireworks going off at the end.
Bryan.
Whole crowd saying yes. Whole crowd. Not one person not saying yes.
You know what?
Whole crowd.
The Indies won that night.
Not Thunderdome. Exactly.
Independent Wrestling won that night.
There was another night where the Indies won. It was the WrestleMania 20. Because if you're on Benoit mark like I was, and you watch that man.
Yeah, we need to talk about this match. But
there's a story about my brother fell out of love of wrestling a long time ago, right? But when we watched it together, our guy was Benoit and Brett. Brett and Benoit was our guys. And he stopped watching wrestling by this time. I kept going. So after 2001, my brother just quit wrestling. He came back to watch WrestleMania 20. Why? Because Benoit was in that main event. And we both popped crazy. And then another time he popped is when I brought him to see Kofi win.
Okay.
So we've had those 2 good moments together. He hasn't really remained consistent though. But yeah.
So let's talk about that then. Benoit, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 20.
I put him up. Yeah.
It was on your
this is
list.
difficult. Yeah. Nah. It nearly made it.
It nearly made it. I was gonna put it in, but I put Orton, Batista, Bryan in because Benoit did something terrible.
Do you know what's hard though? Do we?
That's why I didn't write down his name.
The man that should not be named, man.
My fucking God, yes, Cam.
That's why I didn't write it.
hilarious.
He who shall not be
Man
spoken
just
about.
said end of WrestleMania 20.
I ain't wasting ink on him. Like.
And honestly, I'm gonna be real. That's the reason I didn't put him in. Out of respect, I didn't put him in.
But this is the thing. Do you sit here and try and disregard that, or not disregard
to.
it, put it to the side to just
I can't
to rate
grade-
this match and that moment with him and Eddie, or
What a
does
beautiful moment.
what he done disregard that as a match?
I have to
entirely?
disregard it out of respect. I have to disregard it. I have to. I'm sorry. I can't give that man props. I can't. And I love him. I used to love this man. So many cassette tapes. I had all these cassette tapes in Japan. Stuff he did in Stu Hart's company.
Dungeon.
Stampede Wrestling.
Yeah.
I had all that. I had ECW stuff. WCW. I followed him religiously in WCW. Can't do it. Sorry. And that was one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite wrestling moments, bro. Can't do it.
Well,
Can't even watch it back.
he only made the list, one list, should I say? He only made Cam's list. So we're not talking about that match any further.
We'll have to. I just want to say though, the super kick that Shawn Michaels gives him when he's got the sharpshooter.
sharpshooter.
Yeah.
I love that.
Cleared
Mad.
him.
What a
Mad.
match! And
Jaw gone.
can I just say, I'm sorry, I'm gonna give you
God.
the reversal he does
crossface.
to chip.
That was the
Yeah.
The reversal into the crossface, my guy.
that got me. I
Proper.
thought,
Oh, why
he was
did
gonna
he mess up
reverse
his?
it,
Why did he mess up his legacy, man? What's he doing, bro?
It's unfortunate, but let's cease to talk about
You're right.
Mr. Christopher Benoit. Let's talk about Undertaker versus HBK WrestleMania 26.
Has to be. This can't be
Which
can't be an
match do you
argument.
prefer? This or the 25?
The first one.
That's 25.
25.
Yeah, I prefer 25.
So-
but yeah.
Has to be. This can't be a debate.
Wait, Cam didn't put this on his list. So Cam, why didn't this make your list?
I didn't know that was the main event.
Okay.
Would it have made your
Yeah,
list?
because he said, oh, that was the main event. Oh, so
I
he
thought-
would have.
I didn't know they put on last.
Yeah,
Completely
of course.
forgot.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't know that was last either.
Yeah.
Oh wait a minute.
It was last.
I watched it.
Was actually was it
Are you thinking of 25?
25 is the first match.
That wasn't last.
That wasn't last.
that wasn't last.
26 was the
26
following year where
was
Michaels
the following-
retired.
That's
I
why.
put, I put 25. I got to take that out.
All right, 6. So what are you
Sorry.
going to put?
But 26 is here, so we can still talk about it.
Where you going to put Warrior Hogan above that now?
He can't replace it now. It's too late. But we can still talk about it. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's not an issue.
Man.
It's not an issue. We can still talk about it because it's active because Gigi brought it into play basically.
But that's the thing. I would put the 25 match above it. I think.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't make my list.
I don't know. The work was good in this match
he's
though,
right,
because
though.
this is the one where like Shawn Michaels working his leg. And
Remind me what main event Cena, innit? What main event that pay per view?
Randy and Triple H.
What are you doing?
Oh,
What are you doing? I don't even remember that match, man.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
why I
remember
thought that main evented.
bruv, when these times happen, Triple H, Randy Orton, Cena.
Yeah, running riot. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Completely
I'll
running
check
riot.
that.
You're absolutely right.
So 25, in my opinion, was the better match.
I flopped the
26
thing,
was Shawn Michaels' retirement match, which, like I said, I didn't even know that main evented.
Yeah.
So knowing what we know now, Gigi, you might have to be the ambassador for this to get it into this list.
As I said, I just
Convince me.
I don't know, man. The 25 match is better.
So therefore, it's not on the list.
Then cool.
26 was sick though.
Yeah,
It was a
like,
very good match.
the leg work, like he's working on his leg.
When people are
and
talking like the best WrestleMania matches of all time, 25 and 26 both appear in the
that's
list.
what I mean.
Like,
Yeah.
That's why it's a bit difficult, man. I feel like
man, I flopped.
for me, it was just like right. It needs to be in there. It just needs to be mentioned.
I definitely, yeah.
But I'm not too precious.
Yeah,
over it
you know
because
what?
of the
Let's
other
just
match.
adapt that to 26.
That for me would have probably gotten about where you've put it, 5th for me.
The 26.
Yeah. But obviously this is you guys' list, so
I know it's not main event, but just out of curiosity, where would the first one be in the list?
I would say 1 or
Because
2.
if that's 5, then
I put it 2 because I felt Rock and Austin. No, I put it 1. I put it 1.
Probably,
I put it 1.
I'd probably put it above Angle and Lesnar.
Oh, you. Hell yeah.
No, I mean,
Angle Lesnar wasn't even that good, bro. It was
for me, I don't know, man. Do you know what? It might be recency bias because I watched it recently and it kind of just. I was like, oh wow, this is actually a
Yeah, of course. It's a very good match. It's a good match.
Because all you think about is the botch at the end and you're almost waiting for it.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
watch the match again, it's like, do you know what? These two just. It kind of just. I just relived my love for both of them and their work.
Yeah.
But
Oh my day. So
mean-
I'm gonna still say take a HBK 2000. That's 2010 as well.
Yeah.
That was a great one.
Yeah.
Like, it's 26, wasn't it? So let's say 26 as well. That's still a great match. So yeah, that's still a top 5.
Cam,
WrestleMania
you
match.
happy with that? So,
To put where?
well, we'll
I'll
put
put
it in 2 for now, and we can talk about the order. But
You
John
put it
Cena,
number 1, right?
I did,
Yeah.
but I think Rock and Austin has to be number 1.
John Cena and
HB.
HBK. Is that not in the conversation for anybody?
I was gonna go back and rewatch it, but I just know in my heart I already prefer their Raw match because it was just that it spanned over like a few commercial breaks and it was just brilliant match. But honourable mention definitely.
I just had to throw out
John
there.
Cena,
I knew it was
HBK?
a bit of a long
That's
shot.
not top 5.
No.
That's not top 5.
All
Good
right,
match though.
so
Very good match. Honorable mention.
we're gonna put
top 10. Top 10.
Yeah,
Undertaker
Not bad.
versus HBK in here. Over, I guess the only other one we're left discussing was Angle versus Lesnar.
Yeah.
I can't.
No,
you can't do a top 5 WrestleMania
cons-
main events without HBK Taker. You can't.
yeah.
You can't. We're gonna get we get mashed up, bro. you want our subscribers to go down, bro. Put that match in there, bro.
I will concede Angle Lesnar to make sure that that's in there.
And before I put pen to board, we're not including Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins cash in.
You know what?
No, because I would put Daniel Bryan above that, and then it just gets messy
feel
because there's
like-
so many other matches that have to go in there.
I feel like we got to take Warrior Hogan out, man.
Come on, man.
Got to take Warrior Hogan out.
Come on.
Put,
There's no way you're taking out Warrior Hogan.
Put the Seth
bro.
cash in number
For
5.
me, that is the best WrestleMania
Match.
ending ever.
I agree.
ever.
What,
I totally
Bryan-
agree.
Roman,
Yeah,
Roman,
yeah.
and Rollins cashing in.
All right, I know.
Followed by maybe Bryan's one.
Yeah.
I know your
But-
opinion doesn't really add to this, but would you put Hogan Warrior in your top 5 personally?
Probably not.
Nah. Top 6? Yeah, man.
Maybe top 10. It'll
10.
definitely feature in the top 10 in the
It's
upper
okay
half
to have
of
top 10.
6 to 8. But I don't think it'll be
GG.
getting my top 10 personally.
It's okay to have top 10. JJ.
JJ.
It's okay to have top 10.
Come on, man. It's got to be in there, bro.
Everything's got to be top 5.
Cam, are you not assisting this argument?
You're
You
not
put him
going to
in here
have
as yours.
Hulk Hogan
mate.
in the top 5.
I will assist.
Wow.
Nah. Come on, man. You lot are crazy.
This is my guy, you know.
How can you have Hulk Hogan main event? I know, like, the
If I'm
matches
having
weren't
any
great
Hogan
quality.
match as a top, and I did say Hogan Warrior over Macho Hogan, but I think Macho Hogan's a better match.
It's possibly the better
But you're
match,
right, it's spectacle. I see what
that
you're saying.
moment,
Yeah,
like,
moment. That is a great moment. It's a great
So
moment.
and
I'm
you're not
just-
even WrestleMania
For
3 's
people to
going
know,
in.
I'm just putting in Undertaker versus HBK.
26.
Yep. Number 5. We're back to this discussion.
I will
One step
definitely
forward,
put
2 steps back.
the triple threat cashing one.
You lot are crazy. You lot are crazy.
We might be a bit crazy.
But it makes sense.
We might be a bit crazy still, because
Where's the golden era in this list, bruv? Where is it?
Was
All
there?
right.
But it
I'm
doesn't-
agree with Gigi.
You know what the problem is?
I'm
though?
agree with Gigi. I respect for the he's an idiot, but you can't do top 5 without that guy.
But is this just on nostalgic value?
No, I mean, it's just
Is
important
this a
matches,
top
isn't it?
5,
It was
top
massive,
5,
bro.
top
It was
5,
massive.
top
It
was
5,
massive.
top 5
Yes, bro.
WrestleMania
Yes,
main events?
No, I
Okay,
get
when you
what
say
you're
like
saying.
that,
That's
when you
top
emphasize that,
5 WrestleMania main events.
So then what
I'm
about
not
this?
saying yes or no.
What about
I'm just
this,
asking
yeah?
the question.
What about this? You can only have 3 WrestleMania main events to watch for the rest of your life. Does Hogan Warrior make that list?
Definitely not.
No.
5. Top 5.
No.
Even though it was the one that your pressure it got you into wrestling.
Yeah, I remember it so well.
Oh, that's why you don't want to watch it back. I can see it in my
It's in
head.
here, my dog.
I can see it in my head.
It's in here, my dog. I don't need to go back to that. It's in here, my dog. I hear what you're saying though, in terms of like we've already like ranked certain matches with like the that's pop, the matches, the iconic matches like Rock and Hogan. I mean Rock and Austin, iconic. Hogan Warrior is iconic. So
Fully
we might have to put that in there. So I'm gonna go with Gigi.
But just as a question though, is HBK versus Brett like main event?
Is that in the list? Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah. And when I say main event, I said like,
All right then.
was it like
We might
main
have
event?
to.
Like,
I love
spoken about?
HBK Brett, but it's not iconic. It's iconic
Yeah.
in a certain sense, but it's not iconic like that.
The boyhood
But I-
dream, bro.
The boyhood dream has come true.
We're going back to Hogan Warrior, yeah?
Because the way you emphasize like
We got to,
main
man.
event, like
I'm
because
gonna
HBK
get
was a
cussed
like
out,
main
boy.
event.
When
I'm
you
gonna
think
get
about
cussed out,
WrestleMania,
bro.
though,
It's
do you
hard to
think
do this,
of that?
innit?
I'm losing followers today.
Oh, if you think of WrestleMania, do you not picture Hogan Warrior?
Not anymore. When I was a kid, yes. I'm a grown ass man now. I'm gonna let's give it to Hogan Warrior, and yeah, the cash in is magnifique. I think that match is one of the best, well, arguably the best WrestleMania match. Arguably, I think it definitely should be
I
in the
can't
list.
believe this, mate.
But you know what? I'm a Bret Hart mark, so I want Bret Hart to get some shine. So I'm gonna leave Bret Sean in there.
Cool. So we've got 5 positions now, all filled. Rock versus Austin. I think everyone's
was easy.
agreed that's staying number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Best
Yeah.
WrestleMania main event of all time. Number 2. So Undertaker versus HBK currently occupies that space. Do we want to move up? Batista, Orton, Bryan, HBK, Bret, Hogan, Warrior, or does that stay number 2?
How much is the
I'm happy with
first
that list.
Taker HBK match clouding our judgment here? Because if we're all saying we preferred the first match, do we still rate that match as higher than other like any of these matches?
Bro, that's one of the greatest WrestleMania. Bro, they both produced 2 of one of the
No,
greatest.
I was just
WrestleMania.
making sure, innit, because I know
Yeah,
we all
we'll
said we
leave that.
prefer the first one, but
We'll leave that.
Yeah,
We'll leave
yeah,
that. We'll
yeah.
leave that. We'll leave
Cool.
that.
Cool. Batista, Orton versus Bryan currently sits 3rd above HBK and Bret and Hogan Warrior.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I would swap Hogan Warrior and HBK Bret personally.
I would as well. 'Cause I don't think that Bret versus
Man, you man
HBK
gonna-
was.
you man-
And I just think HBK versus Bret is very divisive. I know we can sit here and we can say we enjoy it,
But when you think of like WrestleMania main event,
but people do still watch
Hogan
it
Warrior.
like Cam does, and it's boring to them or it's slow.
Personally, if
and-
we're doing that, we should take both of them out and put Lesnar, Reigns, and Seth back in there.
It's too late for that now. I was telling you
All right,
guys,
okay.
but
All right. I'm gonna keep Bret and Sean where it is personally because I've seen that match more times than I can count, and the Hogan Warrior match, even though it's iconic and I did love it as a kid, I loved it, fucking really loved it. So I've seen that match a lot as a child. I would rather see Bret and Sean tussle for an hour than see Hogan and Warrior with it.
Yeah, come on.
Testosterone.
Test of
Yeah,
strength.
you're right. I would too, but
gorilla press that nearly killed people. You know what I mean? I'm alright.
I get it. The better match is HBK versus Bret Hart, but
Yes.
when you're thinking of WrestleMania main events, Hogan Warrior is just synonymous with WrestleMania.
He's right.
Synonymous.
He's actually right. I can't even argue with him. He's actually right. So I don't mind if you guys want to swap it
you
round.
guys,
Do your
I'll
thing.
put Hogan.
because you guys both
Warrior
had it in
fourth.
your list anyway. So
You can have the final say in it. I'm quite, I get it
I
either
will
way.
put Hogan Warrior number 4.
Okay.
Personally, yeah.
All right, cool.
Which it's not a bad thing. Still top 5. Still top 5.
Cool. So it looks like we are done here. We have put together a top 5 list of the greatest WrestleMania main events of all time. Number 1, Rock versus Austin. Number 2, The Undertaker versus HBK, WrestleMania 26. Number 3, Batista versus Orton versus Daniel Bryan. Number 4, Warrior versus Hogan. And number 5, Bret Hart versus HBK. Guys, are we happy with that final list?
I guess so.
Very happy.
Yeah. It's fine.
You think
That's
that's a
fine.
respectable list?
I think the audience will understand, like, especially like I'm saying with Hart and Bret Hart HBK. I think it does divide people. So I think
Yeah,
there
definitely.
will be, if you like that match, you'll want to possibly see it higher. But I think because the general consensus might see it a bit differently, I'm quite happy with that, man.
As long as Rock Austin's number 1, I think everyone's happy.
So cool. So guys, that is our list. Please put down below in the comments what you think of the list and maybe any howlers that we made, anything we missed out, anything that should be here. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Thank you to Gigi, Skillet, and Cam for joining us here today to put together this list. Put as well down in the comments any list that you want us to make going forward. And yeah, we'll chat to you in the next one.